From Rochester, New York, home of the Aquinas Institute, Dinosaur Barbecue, and Lilac Festival, this is FC3 Monkey Business. Starring Chris Frank, Billy DeTore, and Tanya Metris in rich, buttery blueberry muffins. And now, your host, Chris Frank.
My son and his muffin obsession.
Oh, I love blueberry muffins.
They are good. I'll give them that. They are definitely
Now I want to go make blueberry muffins.
I can think of a great many worse things to be obsessed with.
Seriously.
Muffins.
Well, hello, friends and family, and all the points in between. It's your favorite bouncing baby boy. No, wait a minute. That's my son. That's never mind. Hi.
He's not here today.
He's not here today. He's actually home playing on his computer, most likely, and taking care of the Juno.
She looks so cute with that hat on. How long did that hat last?
All of like a fraction of a second after that picture was taken.
Oh, she's like, no, Dad.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I caught her just as she was about to flinch to try and get it off her head. That's about it. So in the studio today, I am your host. My name is Chris. Hello there.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
With me, as always, is the ever-present local media legend, Tanya Metris.
I am?
You are now.
I've seen you on radio.
Yeah.
You've seen
I've
me
seen
on
you
radio?
on the radio.
Actually, I'm one of the few people that has.
Yes.
Has seen me on radio.
Have seen her on the radio.
Well,
This
I
is
technically,
did.
true.
yes.
Yeah.
And she does autographs if you see her in the mall or to go to Kohl's, or...
I haven't been to Kohl's lately.
Just don't interrupt her
Yeah.
when she's eating.
Yeah, seriously. I've noticed that, too.
Now that's the best time to interrupt her. Then she tears off your face.
Yeah. There's some face ripping going on. Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
And to your right, the illustrious Billy DeTore.
Hello.
Hello, Wilhelm.
Hi.
How are you?
Chris? I'm good.
Good. To my left, the irrepressible, ever-present Tony Bacchetta.
Hi, I'm
How are-
Tony. I've been a nerd for 21 years.
Hi, Tony.
See, we got giggles on the phone.
That was awesome. The giggles on the phone are from none other than the monkey girl herself, Alana Spake. Hello, Alana.
Hello.
We
There
have
it is.
missed you, darling. We have missed you so much. How are you?
I'm good.
School's good?
Yeah, tired mostly.
Yeah. So, and then last but not least, the Grandmaster, the anchor on the table. He's on the far left, politically and logistically, location-wise, to my standing on the table here.
So I'm the anchor? Jeez, I knew something was dragging us down.
No, that would be me, because I can't even think straight right now. But the James Irish is here.
Good afternoon or morning or night, whenever
you happen to be listening to this particular podcast.
That's the magic of podcasts. They wait for you.
Exactly, they do. So how we doing, gang? Everybody's good?
We're doing good.
We have.
Rock solid.
Oh man, I'm telling you, we've had some fun this season so
So far.
So far, so good.
Can you remember the time that thing happened?
Yes,
Wow.
the time that thing, and then the other thing, and then we had the people on.
Oh, and I don't even want to mention the other. Never
I know,
mind.
seriously, we can't even talk about that
And
yet.
Billy doesn't have clothes on again.
Talk to the hand.
Yeah, the pair of pants I'm wearing, I found just outside the office. I wonder where they came from.
Yeah, somewhere.
Probably
Something about
Billy's.
Chris being in that Wonder Woman costume? I don't know.
Oh no! See, there's no photographic evidence of that.
And of course, there's the time we talked about our shopping for Holiday A.
Holiday A or Holiday B. Insert your favorite holiday here in this discussion.
I personally
See, this is
prefer
the thing about a drop-in
C.
a drop-in episode.
You never
have
know
no
where
clue.
it's gonna land.
You never know where it's gonna land.
Just like you never
like
know what you're
Monkey
going to
Business.
get
Exactly.
on this show.
Exactly.
A
So,
lot
in
of
case you haven't
nerdiness.
figured it out, this is one that we recorded way back in September,
September.
and it's for those occasions where we're all not available. We're off doing something else, or there's a holiday or something like that. So we recorded this one in advance for the sole purpose of making sure that we had certain continuity in our
That we're
season
dropping
4.
it wherever. So
We have no idea where this is going to be.
Or just in case I die, this one will be really creepy.
Well, you've
Oh,
been
come
hit by a
on.
car how many
Yeah,
times?
exactly. Maybe I'll get mugged, shot, killed, something.
No.
And then you play this one after, and we'll not even mention it, except for this.
It'll be
I can't believe he went out being buried by chicken feathers.
I'm telling you.
he's been mauled by all his kitties.
He's
Yeah.
been mauled by gerbils.
Right now, my cats are eating my nose.
Not even
I
a
don't know.
swarm
Your
of
cats have a
guinea
nice
pigs?
new cat condo tower
Swarm
type
of
thing.
guinea
I've had
pigs.
that for a while.
There's a new fourth
I
level
don't
spell
know.
for Dungeons and Dragons.
What the hell
Swarm
did
of
we
guinea
miss?
pigs.
Tony was said death by a swarm of guinea pigs. It's a swarm of cuddles.
God.
Help me, Alana. Help me.
No, there is no help for us. We are so far off the rails, it's not even funny.
Help her, Alana. You're
This
her
entire
only hope.
this entire episode is already an outtake, basically.
Something
not
about
Space
side
Mom.
questing and
You're not
digressing.
what?
I'm not Space Mom.
You're not Space Mom.
Should I be sad that I hit record? That I remember to hit record?
No, it's okay.
That'll be a first.
It's all part of the fun. It's all part of the fun.
I
So,
forgot to hit record, guys.
what do we got going on this week's episode here?
This week we're going to talk about what's on DVD.
Okay.
We're going to do a quick little review with anything that's been out a while.
We'll just pick
Yep.
something.
It's what we usually do. Our not a book talk or not a book talk,
Not a
not
book
club.
We're just going to do a quick
without
review of
that-
something.
Yeah, that
Okay.
aspect.
And
And
then,
then the long piece is the get to know you quizzes.
we're going to
That-
play some Facebook quizzes today.
Yes, that Billy posted that I think everyone else could see the questions
Yeah.
except for me. I could not see.
I'm also going in blind.
Well, you're going in, yeah. And
That's fine.
It's just
Alana, were you able to see those questions?
I was able to see them, but I didn't know if we were using both, if we were using a combination, if we were just doing one. And I asked, nobody got back to me.
Sorry about that one.
So therefore, these are going to be like off the cuff answers that we don't necessarily have a chance to think of. So Christopher, please don't come to me first.
It's like if you
'Cause
scroll
you'll-
now, if you scroll through your Facebook
I don't
page.
even have the questions.
Oh, should I?
Yeah.
Billy-
Okay, I'll do it then.
Billy, call him up.
Billy's going to have to do the questions and
Cool.
interview via Billy.
Yay.
thing.
That could be
It's
fun.
just if you scroll through your Facebook page every once in a while, I want my friends to answer these so I can learn more about you.
It's like
Yes.
the number of tattoos and like those
Yeah,
type of things. Because I've
exactly.
seen those. Yeah.
Right.
that type of stuff. So
What year was it? How
Know
many
your
children?
nerds is what I'm calling
Know
it.
your
I like
nerds.
it. Know Your Nerds episode.
love
That's
it.
awesome.
Know your
So we're going to
nerds.
jump
I mean,
to... Go ahead, honey.
It wouldn't take me long to find the stuff for it.
True.
Let me. I didn't know I had to do prep. Now I have to find stuff. Hold on a second.
We'll have a
about
chance
it.
to go to break to give
Yeah,
us a chance, give you a
exactly.
chance to find those questions.
Exactly. Thank
But
you.
other
So-
than that, has
yeah.
anyone else been up to anything?
6'5", that's about it. 6'5". Maybe well, actually 6'4" and
Like
7/8
3/4,
now.
yeah.
I'm starting to
By the
shrink in
time
my
this
old age.
podcast comes out, I should be about hip deep in dungeon mastering a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Hopefully, with some of you guys included, schedule
cool.
allowing. This is a good time to give a shout out to the source of the campaign, dungeoninabox.com.
Nice. Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
DungeonInABox.com.
I need to find good D&D group. It's been way too long.
So, do you have a particular setting in mind right now? Do we know if it's like going to be city? Is it going to be wilderness?
It's going to start. Well, I've read the first 3 adventures in the
Mm-hmm.
set because I started with a 3-month subscription, and they supply you with the digital goodies
Okay.
right
So
just
this
about
is
the
like a
24
loot
hours.
crate
it's
or-
a loot crate, but it's all curated to run one adventure each
Mm-hmm.
crate. You get the adventure, you get corresponding miniatures,
Oh,
you
cool.
get maps, you get tokens, you get special party effects for after the
Ooh, I
adventure.
like the maps. Sorry.
I already have like 12 character concepts.
And Scott has 52.
And I'm
Yes.
telling you, these guys. would
Scott has created
probably be
73
a-
characters, and he doesn't even know that he's playing in this game.
These guys would probably be a very fun podcast episode.
This could be
in
good.
in the past,
Yeah,
because
in
it
the
may have
past.
already aired by this
Who
point.
knows? I may just deliberately save this one until the summer of 2020. Who knows? I doubt it. I doubt it. But
Oh, let's do that. By then, we'll switch music again.
I will have been fired 162 times.
that was just 2 episodes ago.
And I will have
Very
been back
true.
just once.
Yeah. All right, so you got the
That
quizzes
seems
ready to go over
Yes,
there?
I do.
Very good. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to pick a movie and we're going to do a quick review of something that's on DVD right now, and then we'll get to some quizzing.
Yay.
I feel like I should be wearing like a duster and a hat, a cowboy hat and chaps with this.
Until this part comes in.
Riding
then-
a motorcycle.
Riding a
It's like
motorcycle. I'm doing cosplay
Ghost
as the
Rider.
Undertaker.
It's kind of like a Ghost Rider
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
vibe to it.
That's awesome.
If you're going to do Undertaker, I insist on being Paul Bearer.
I think we got a Halloween plan ahead of us.
Oh boy.
That's it.
For Halloween of 2020, because chances are this one is already aired after Halloween.
All right. All right, so off the top of my head, I'm picking The Last Starfighter. I don't know why I just said that, but there you have it. It's on DVD. It's a movie. Starring Lance Guest. Starring Lance Guest. All right. Right? Lance Guest? No.
Last Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter.
Is that Robert Preston?
Yes, Robert Preston is in it.
Okay.
As a reoccurring
Lance
character.
Guest is Alex
Lance
Rogan.
Guest. I got it. Kid plays a video game. Didn't realize he was actually trying out to join an actual legitimate alien space force. So...
Every video game player's ultimate fantasy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Except for those of us who don't want to die.
Well, you don't think of that all the way through. So, who in the room has seen this movie? Tanya's seen it. Billy, do you remember ever seeing it?
I don't think so, no. It doesn't stick in my head, so
Okay.
I'm going to say no.
Tony, you've seen it?
Yes, I
James,
have.
you've seen it?
It's been decades, but yes,
yeah.
I've seen it.
Alana, have you ever seen The Last Starfighter?
Nope.
Okay.
It's been about a decade since
We're not
I
going to
saw
spend
it.
a lot of time on it.
1984.
It's a 1984 movie. Like I said, Lance Guest plays the central character, Alex. He has been playing this. He lives in a trailer park. He's been playing this video game as his way of escaping from having to be the son of the person who owns the trailer park. So he's used to be the handyman. He's going around. He's in a dead end life, essentially, right? And so he plays this video game to escape. Well, one night, all hell breaks loose. And this ship comes out of the sky, lands, and he's just totally dumbstruck. He thinks he may be drunk, but he didn't actually drink anything. And he's approached by Alpha Centauri, played by Robert Preston, who is recruiting him to join him. And in the process of recruiting him, you see in this other tag scene while this is happening that the bad guy, who's your big bad villain of this particular movie, has already destroyed the base where all the heroes are hanging out. So by the time Centauri gets back with Alex... Or no, I know there's more to it than that. But anyway, by the time that Alex comes back, everything is destroyed. He's got to take on the big bad all by himself, hence the whole Last Starfighter. There's more to it than that. There's some back and forth going on. I think they actually bring him in, and he sees the place, and he's like, nope, I don't want to do this. Take me home. And then it's on the way back is when it happens. But...
Go
ahead.
If this movie was released a couple years earlier or a couple years later, it might not have been a cult hit. It might have been bigger. But 1984, the competition that thing would have been up against: Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Terminator, Karate Kid, Nightmare on Elm Street, Temple of Doom, Beverly Hills Cop.
Some huge movies at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Seminal stuff.
And early days of CGI. More than just your usual animation or sci-fi type stuff, Lucasfilm and LucasArts did their cutting edge, pushing the boundaries with Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But these guys were taking this whole new level of computer-generated graphics, computer-generated imagery. And so, yeah, it does look a little video game-esque, a little cheesy, but it's the story itself holds up well. And the characters are fun. Alex gets saddled with his wingman, his gunner, or his pilot. The guy who's actually sitting in the ship with him is the lizard guy, and they're just the banter back and forth between the two of them. It's friggin' hilarious. So I bring this movie up because I know that there's some talk going on that they want to reboot because Hollywood is out of ideas, as always. We've talked about that last year. But is this a movie that holds up? Is this something you would want to see again?
I mean, as a coming of age story, I think it's very nice. Although I feel like Hollywood being out of ideas shouldn't be the reason why it's being remade.
What would you think? What would be a good impetus to bring that type of a show back?
I would say the culture around sci-fi has to be prime for it. I don't think it is at this moment because currently the sci-fi market's oversaturated with Star Wars. So
yeah,
I
true.
have a feeling if they were to remake it now, it'd be it'd be lost by the fact Star Wars is
the thing.
The thing.
It's also worth mentioning the sci-fi gestalt at the moment is mostly occupied by Marvel Comics.
That's true too.
Oh, yeah.
That's true too. Why deal with the Last Starfighter when you have the Guardians of the Galaxy cruising around? Yeah, that's a good point.
And another little bit of trivia that was released July 13th, the same weekend as The Muppets Take Manhattan.
We were just talking about Muppets a little while ago.
Muppets.
Yeah.
So it made $22 million in its theatrical release.
That's not bad for a 1984 movie.
Against what kind of budget?
I'm not sure what kind of budget, but Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which was released on May 23rd, made $333 million.
Well, that's Whoops.
And Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, which was June 1st, made $87 million.
Okay.
So
I think Last Starfighter is one of those movies that was probably vindicated most by cable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's where I remember seeing. I never saw it in the theater. Maybe that's what we should do, is just do a theater viewing of The Last Starfighter one of these days, like we did Princess Bride a couple years ago.
it
I bet
might
you the
be
little would be up to it.
That'd be fun. Be good.
Something.
Someplace with comfy seats. That's all I care. So, all right. So, yes or no, across the board, would you recommend seeing this movie to people who are like looking for a DVD to rent or a movie to look up for on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Okay. Tanya's a yes. James?
Certainly.
Tony?
Yeah.
Billy, what do you think?
I want to see it now.
There you go.
So-
How about you, little monkey girl?
Sure. Why
Sure.
not?
We're all across the board. We're like, yep, this is cool. So, dear listener, when you get an opportunity, track down and take a view of The Last Starfighter from 1984. See, that's what we want to do. Just a quick review, a little talk, not a book club kind of action. So from here, we're going to take another quick break, and we come back, we're going to do some quizzing. Okay. Did I catch you off guard with that one, Billy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were doing all of ours, but it was just yours.
Yeah. No, it was just a quick one thing and out.
Oh, okay.
That's a good thing. I didn't have anything
I
prepared.
didn't have anything prepared either.
Nor did I.
Yeah, exactly.
See?
Oh,
I know what I'm doing for a
Monk
change. I know what I'm doing for a change. It's amazing.
we'll do the rest of us some other day.
Everyone else will take one somehow.
That sounds vaguely suggestive.
Backing away slowly. Slowly.
Too far.
Too far.
Oh,
All right.
it says one of us do a review. Maybe I could have read that. I'm a little slow on the uptake today.
Ah, you guys. You people make my ass twitch. Let's do some
Better
quizzing.
than itching.
Yeah. Well, let's do some quizzing.
Yeah, let's do some quizzing.
Getting to know you.
Getting to know all about you.
Oh boy.
Etc., etc., etc.
Help.
As I mentioned a little bit ago, I come across these quizzes every once in a while on Facebook. I don't know if you guys do or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I see them all the
All
time.
the time.
And every once in a while, I should fill this out. This looks like fun. Nah, I'm too lazy. But I'd like to know these things about my friends.
There you go.
So, and you guys are my friends.
Yay.
So
Yay.
rather than take the time and actually type stuff up, I figured let's just ask each other these questions.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Go.
Bring it.
Okay. First, how old is everyone here?
Old enough to know better.
Okay.
I am 47.
Okay, I'm 54.
49.
21.
39.
Monk?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 in November.
21 in November.
So
22
chances
in
are you might
October.
already be
Yeah, I
21.
think you're probably already 21 by the time I drop this one on people. But
Yeah,
that's
you-
cool.
When it
Oh, in that
airs, you can
case,
have,
I'm
you can have a
22
toast.
in October, so
She's always our bouncing baby monk.
So we're going to probably get a wide variety of answers
Probably.
I think
based
so,
on
too.
experience in life here.
Yeah, we have a couple
Woohoo.
generations here.
Okay, tattoos. How many? Do you have them? What are they? That type of
Yes,
thing.
I have two, and I'm looking for a third.
What are they, Tanya?
I have a floral Trinity knot on my arm that represents the past, the present, and the future, and my part of my Irish heritage. And then on my right ankle, I have the a Pisces zodiac symbol, which is the zodiac for
The
the
fish?
middle of February to the middle of March. That represents my birthday. Yes,
All right.
but I don't actually have the fish. It's the stylized H.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Christopher?
I have one tattoo. I have a phoenix on the back of my right shoulder, and within the wings are etched in the initials for my kids.
Okay. Ian
Oh,
and
that's sweet.
Juliana.
Yep, ICF for Ian and JAF for Juliana, and they're one wing apiece.
Nice.
So yeah.
Tony.
no tattoos. But if I were to ever get one, I'd probably get 4 playing cards. King of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, and Ace of Hearts.
For what reason?
For each of my siblings.
Oh, cool.
It's one of those very well. Don't yeah. It's one of those morbid things that if all of us die, the survivor has to get this tattoo.
Oh, I see. This is something that the 5 of you have chatted about.
Yeah,
Last man standing.
yeah.
What you should do is just get one of those cards, and the text underneath it says, "Is this your card?"
Well, we've actually talked about like whose card is whose.
Oh, that's morbid. Love it.
The King of Hearts is my brother John.
He's the oldest, right?
He's the oldest.
Okay.
The Queen of Hearts is my sister. 'Cause
Right.
She's the only girl.
Right, and she's the baby, which is
Yep.
funny.
Yeah. The Jack is my brother Joe. He's the second oldest.
Okay.
And the Ace is my brother Bob.
Okay.
It varies because I have to be thrown into the mix and someone has to be taken out of the mix depending on which sibling you're talking to.
Can you be just the Joker?
The 10.
That'd be funny. No. The well, you have to. It's like all your siblings are gone, so you have to like match a card to your sibling.
Oh, I see.
So that's the breakdown for me.
Okay. So the Jack card could be different depending on who the last man standing actually
Exactly.
is. Got it.
See, that's interesting because I don't have any tattoos either, but I've always sort of thought about if I was going to get one, what would it be? Mm-hmm. And am I lame enough to actually get a sports tattoo? But the New York Mets are about the only thing I've liked long enough
To have that kind of
besides my
devotion.
family.
Yeah.
You know, Batman, but sometimes I like Superman better. But sometimes I like Spider-Man. So I don't want a comic book tattoo.
Right.
I don't want. I guess I don't want a tattoo. I've always joked that maybe just across my whole back, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 robots and a big screen with Godzilla on it across
you
my
go.
back.
That's gonna hurt.
What's little known is that James actually has a whole gothic thing going across his back right now. He's got tombstones and werewolves and all. And he's looking at me like, shut up.
Lies.
And it comes up and around his head. It's crazy.
Complete lies. I have 0 tattoos. I
He
don't
has
have
his
any
face
current.
tattooed on his face.
He has a full tattoo of himself, but only taller.
I would love to actually get a chance to finish this question.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you will someday
luck with that.
once we're done trying to make funny jokes.
Yes. Once we think we're funny.
Anyhow, the reason I don't have a tattoo, I have nothing against them personally. I
Right.
just think I'd look at them in 6 months if I got one and say, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
Well, people suggest to like take a picture of whatever you're thinking about for your tattoo, and then put it up in a place that you would see it every day
Right.
for a good portion of the day. And if you don't get sick of it, then that's probably the tattoo for you.
Temporary tattoos are becoming very advanced, too. They've got ones that
Yes.
can last for months now, and you can get a stencil created, and then you'll be able to transfer that stencil to your skin, and it takes like a couple of months for it to really wear off, so you really be able to see it and see it in its place without the whole needle thing, you know?
You know, I actually just got an idea, though.
Yeah.
On my back, really small text. If you can read this, you're too close.
As we learned in a previous episode, though, James, you like the Muppets an awful lot. I really am surprised you don't have a Muppet.
A Muppet tattoo. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Maybe someday. I went to school with somebody who's now a tattoo artist.
I waited
and
until...
funnily
oh, go
enough,
ahead.
he has a famous name, but, you know, it's not... He's obviously not the famous guy. A guy named Steve Irwin.
Oh. It's a beauty, this one. He looks cranky. I'm going to go poke him with a stick.
You know,
Literally.
he always had this great artistic bent to him in high school and middle school and so on. And, you know, when we reconnected on Facebook, he was like, I bet you're really surprised I took this avenue. And I was like, you know, the more I think about it, the more it's a great fit. It allows you to express yourself. It pays the bills.
Yeah.
Win-win.
And it just occurred to me that I have a few hundred T-shirts at least. So every day I just get to change what I like. Today I like Aquaman, so I'm wearing an Aquaman
There you
t-shirt.
go. So, you know, you can't do that with
Yeah.
tattoo.
What about you, Monk?
Monk's got some ink on her. I know that.
Yep, I've got one tattoo. It's a cat with a witch's hat, and in the background there's a moon and another cat in a witch's hat riding on a broomstick.
Very cool.
Now,
Yeah.
there was some significance to those, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a tribute to Karen Becker.
Right? Darling woman. Miss her terribly.
Yep. I love the face of the bigger cat because it has a look on the face that Karen tends to have, which was, I know something you don't know.
Yes. Very much so. And you've had that one for about a year now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Over a year now.
See, so people are getting them at 18, 19. I got mine at 47. So
I got my
waited a
first
long
one
time.
at 40, and then the next one is like 42.
Yeah. The answer to life, the universe,
Maybe
and
41,
everything.
something like that.
So there you go.
I'm planning on getting more, too.
Okay, next question. And I want a story with this if the answer is yes, as it is with me.
Okay.
Have you ever ridden in an ambulance?
No.
Yes, I have.
Why?
Story?
It was funny, but I was hanging out with a buddy of mine from high school, and he was a dispatcher for the volunteer ambulance in Henrietta. And something had happened at his house, and he needed to get back there. And so they gave him a ride in the ambulance. And because my car was at his house, I hitched a ride. So we got a ride in an ambulance.
So you had a non-traditional ride in an
non-traditional ride in an ambulance.
So therefore, you weren't billed for that.
I was not billed for that. No. No.
Tony?
Like,
No, but my sister is an EMT, and she's getting her paramedic license in the May of 2020.
Good for her.
I have been in an ambulance, and I can sum up why in 2 words.
Uh-huh.
You were
Galls-
pregnant.
No, gallstones.
Oh.
Now, did you happen to have your gallbladder removed because of that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I didn't get the
Ouch.
ride in the ambulance. I got the ride in my truck. And I drove myself to the hospital when I was having a gallstone attack. And then 2 days later, while I was at Strong, they took my gallbladder out.
Jeez.
But I actually drove myself to the hospital.
That's
Yeah, I had to lose some weight just before I could have my gallbladder removed. And, well, over the last few years, I seem to have found it again.
So, did they remove your gallbladder or just the stone?
They removed the bladder, and this was a few months later, just after Halloween that year, 2015. Very interesting year. I go to my first fan expo, and I get my gallbladder removed.
You'll remember that.
Yeah.
Monk?
yes, I have. I was 4.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother was driving, and her brakes failed, and we ended up underneath a school bus.
Oh, boy.
wow.
Good heavens!
Oh, dear Lord.
Miraculously, I was not hurt.
Good.
Thank God.
Brakes
Yeah.
failed. That's a movie.
It is a movie.
They had to get, have you ever heard of the Jaws of Life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had to get some of those to get my grandmother out of the car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's a good one, Monk. I'm glad everyone was okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And I've ridden in an ambulance twice. When I got mugged a few years ago.
Okay.
And wound up knocked out on the street.
Oh, jeez.
And then the policeman woke me up and talked to me. And next thing I knew, an ambulance was there and took me to the hospital. And I had a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years before that, I had this weird attack at work where I got dizzy, sweating, couldn't stop throwing up, couldn't stand up. So they called an ambulance. Turns out I had vertigo.
Oh, yeah, that
sounded
hit
like
me
But
up.
at the time, it never happened to me before, so I didn't know if I was having a heart attack, if I was dying.
You almost feel like you're having a stroke.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It
I've
was
gone through
really
an attack
scary.
of that. Yeah.
Like I literally couldn't walk a step without just being violently ill and sweaty and scary. So my ambulance rides, and I didn't enjoy them as you shouldn't enjoy an ambulance ride, I guess. So,
But I can tell you, but both my mother-in-law and my husband have ridden in an ambulance.
that's right. Your husband got hit by a car?
Yes.
As have I, but I got up and walked away.
You could have been in the ambulance the second time.
I could have taken an ambulance
No,
then,
yes,
too.
it was up on Ridge Road, and I know people have already heard the story.
Yeah.
But, so.
And who else?
My
Tom?
mother-in-law, she
Oh, okay.
broke her femur.
Oh.
She just, went down in the driveway at a friend's house. So.
Well, I'm glad everybody's
Well, see, it's
okay.
funny because my husband, it was April of 2016, and then June of 2016 is when my mother-in-law broke her leg. So I wanted to forget that year.
Yeah, I
So.
bet. Okay, here's a controversial subject. I'm going to go in a different order. Best type of pie.
Best type of pie.
Monk.
Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Just straight up pumpkin pie. It's my favorite.
Okay, and because Tiny just said, ugh, I need her answer and why pumpkin goes, ugh.
I don't like pumpkin pie. I'm not a big pie fan.
Okay.
I don't necessarily. But if I was going to eat pie, it's got to be like that chocolate mousse, silk pudding pie, that type of thing with the layer like this of whipped cream and chocolate shavings on the top.
Yep, that's a
I will
delicious
accept that
pie.
answer.
The what?
I will accept that answer.
Okay. I'm just not a pumpkin person, but I'm not a pie eater. in general.
Of course, as we record this, it is pumpkin spice season.
It's taco season. Come on.
It's always taco season.
I'll take tacos over pumpkin spice any day.
The reason pumpkin pie is my favorite is because it's something my mom and I used to make when I was little, and it just kind of stuck.
If I was to eat one of the traditional pies, it would probably have to be apple.
Apple's delicious, but I'm with Monk. Pumpkin is my choice
I think
of
part
pie.
of it's the texture, too. I just don't like...
I once ate half a pumpkin pie in one sitting while watching
Billy, I
football.
love
It was
you.
like the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Oh,
My
God.
mom sent home the rest of a pumpkin pie with me, and I think I sat and ate the whole thing
Oh, boy.
while watching
I
football.
bet you were ill.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me from liking it.
No.
James,
Billy, I love you.
I love you too, Monk.
Come on, we're a bunch of New Yorkers. Even if we're not New York City, we're still New Yorkers. The answer should be obvious:
Apple.
pizza pie.
I can go with that one.
Yes.
Pizza pie.
No way. Okay, I'll forget about it.
Chris?
Well, I'm well known for being an admirer of key lime pie, which is one of my favorites. But I've been jonesing for a proper apple pie lately to join that bandwagon.
Last time I tried to have key lime pie, I got locked out.
Oh, boy. Where's my rim shot?
It's going to be too late.
Yeah, it's never too late for a rim shot.
It's never. No, it's all good.
Okay. Tony?
I love key lime or lemon meringue, but for my money, my girlfriend's rhubarb pie.
Rhubarb. My brother likes rhubarb pie.
My mom would make strawberry rhubarb pie.
Never rubber another man's rhubarb.
My
Bob Gunn.
my girlfriend's rhubarb pie actually brought my brother Joe to tears.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It had razor blades in it.
Bob doesn't get out much. That's
Deadpan.
Yeah. That's Bob doesn't get out much apparently.
No, Bob does not.
Okay, Billy, now what do you have? Hit us.
Furthest place traveled.
Oh. Okay.
I've been to Hawaii.
Dominican Republic.
For a
Okay.
month.
Monk's been a Dominican.
I've been to Hawaii.
Okay.
San Diego.
Okay. I've been to San Francisco going west, going east. The farthest east I've been was Venice, Italy.
Tony?
I would have to say Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Anaheim, if we're talking all travel, just travel by car, Toronto.
Okay.
That's a 3.5-hour drive.
Yeah,
So
it's a hike. Yeah.
Well, so west was Hawaii for me. East is London.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no.
South?
I've been to Belgium.
You been to Belgium? Mm-hmm. Did you have their waffles?
South was Dominican Republic for me. West is Denver, Colorado.
Nice.
So south is Charlotte, North Carolina. West is Grand Rapids, Michigan, and east. I don't think I've gone anywhere farther than Syracuse.
We got to work on that, dude.
Yeah.
You've never been to New York City?
You've never been to New York City?
No.
Did you go on the DC trip when you were at Aquinas?
Yeah, but
That's slightly further east than Syracuse.
okay. In that case, yeah.
Just slightly on the map
but
when
we
you're looking
also
at.
think DC South.
Yeah,
DC
well,
South.
DC South. I know. I'm trying to look at the map in a broad spectrum. I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to help the poor untraveled boy.
if you want to be truthfully honest, DC's another planet.
It is really seriously. It's an entirely
So
different
it's New
world.
York City.
New York City is like a solar system away. It's weird.
Okay, what?
All right, what's
My furthest east?
Yes.
New York City, I guess. What's further east than New York City?
Boston?
Oh, I've been to Boston. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll go Boston.
Technically, Maine.
I don't think I've been to Maine, so I'm going to go Boston.
okay?
I will be going to Boston in a couple of months to visit a buddy of mine who's currently working in Boston. So,
There
Cool.
you go. Though you'll get east.
You
now.
will love the city.
so
It's
by
amazing.
the time that this episode drops, the furthest east I will have been is Boston.
There you
There you
go.
go. Unless this drops in 2 weeks.
No, I'm going to drop it tomorrow now. That's it.
Okay, Billy, hit us.
Okay, first job.
I worked in a restaurant as a bus person, bus boy, bus girl, whatever. It was funny. I was telling the story. I think we were at the 585 or something. It was a restaurant called Sherwood Manor out in Honey Falls. It's now the location of a Flaherty's
Okay.
out in Honey Falls. But it was Sherwood Manor. It was like kind of more of an upscale restaurant. So, of course, black pants, white shirt, black vest, black bow tie.
Oh,
for
yeah, I remember this story now.
everybody.
Yeah.
And I had hair about Tony's length in the back, and it was a
Okay.
little longer on the top, but I had really, really short hair, and I was I think I was a senior in high school. And I was walking by a table, and one of the customers was like, "Excuse me, sir." And I just stopped because I heard the "excuse me," and then I turned. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Wait, there are more curves there.
Then what? They're like, "I'm like, can I help you?" And then it's just a matter of like, they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." But that was the one that stuck out of my head. But it was an interesting place because we shared the tips with the waitresses. So the waitresses would take a percentage of their tips and give it to all the bus people on staff that night. So Friday and Saturday, there were more of us on. So I liked working on either like a Tuesday or Wednesday when I was the only bus person on.
So you split it with less people.
You split it with less people. But then you really learned how to carry a tray, because we wouldn't carry trays of food. We would carry the trays of all the table settings. So, and we would set up like a table of like 10 or 12 or whatever to be able to carry all the roll plates, the silverware, all the water glasses and things like that. And so you learned how to carry trays with your left hand, and they had to be up off your shoulder.
Like traditional when you think of a waiter.
Traditional,
waitress type of-
whatever, and then carrying the tray stand.
Okay, as a pest restaurant worker, what do you think of the current trend? This is just off topic. All the waitresses seem to want to memorize everyone's order nowadays.
Not write it down.
It makes me uncomfortable.
I think it depends on where you go.
Yeah.
And who the waitress is.
Yeah, because I'm like, it depends on if you're going to a chain or not, because I know some of the chain restaurants, they'll write down your order.
Yeah.
But
I just noticed. Chris, first job.
My first job was for the CVS on the corner of Flower City and Lake.
I know. Okay.
Ringing register.
Still there.
And I eventually worked my way up to being a pharmacy technician, counting out the drugs for all the good folks out there.
whoa.
Yeah. No, that was my first. I was in high school when I got that one. I was thinking junior and senior year I was working there.
That's
I was a
kinda
paper
cool.
boy before that, but you know.
That doesn't really count.
Doesn't really count. Talking like the first paying taxes and all that stuff job.
Monk?
For doing first paying taxes job, it would have to be, I was a community HAB specialist. I technically still have that job.
Oh, yeah?
A community what specialist?
I work with people with mental disabilities
Oh, okay.
one-on-one.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. James?
My first paying job was a rides operator at our beloved local institution, Seabreeze Amusement Park.
Nice.
And if we have time, I'd love to tell you guys about the strangest day I ever had on that job.
Absolutely.
Go for
That's why I asked the question.
Yep.
I was working the teacups that day.
Oh, they just make me sick just thinking
And
about it.
funny enough, that was the first time I ever had anybody throw up on the teacups on me. Usually that happens when
It
I
was
was
not
working the
me.
Tilt-A-Whirl. And we had some
That would be me.
clowns in the park for whatever
Clowns?
reason.
Okay.
I joked to my boss at that department, B. Anthony Gibson, that, hey, you should have told me you relaxed the dress code. I would have worn my leisure suit.
Oh, jeez.
But what put it over the top, you know those gold teeth grills you'll occasionally see hip-hop stars and whatnot wearing?
Okay.
There's one guy standing in line, not in the ride, standing in line, was wearing these, and they fell out of his mouth.
Uh-oh.
I had to get my boss to get this weird, bizarre screwdriver thing that's as tall as I am sitting in this chair to undo those big old bolts on the walk path to get underneath the entrance and get these for him. All this time I was thinking, this must be the greatest victory of substance over style, because if these things are so loose, why bother?
Yeah, no, seriously.
A couple years later, Little John comes around, and I was like, well, forget that.
Tony, first job.
First paying taxes job, TA for RIT.
Okay.
First job, I was paid under the table as a host at a restaurant that went belly up about a month after I was hired.
You took their last cash, Tony.
What?
You took their last bit of cash.
Basically, I mean, it was hired as I was hired as a favor to the owner, because the owner was able to. They had a thing saying that I was able to work there because I was 15 at the time.
Okay.
But they didn't file anything else other than that. So they just paid me under the table.
I also, my first job was under the table, the plating shop. A friend of my brother's owned the place that plated metal things with zinc, and I did that, and I worked in a factory warehouse. Nothing too interesting, but those were my first jobs besides mowing lawns.
How did you get into radio?
I was working in a stock room at the building next to the Auditorium Theater, Staub's uniform rental place.
Yeah.
They supply uniforms for like Wendy's and Wegmans and that type of stuff. And I was working there, and I was always a Wheeze fan, so I had the radio on. I worked in a room by myself, so I always had the radio on. And one day they said, we're looking for interns to come help us out, and if you want to do that, give our producer Courtney a call. And I rearranged my schedule so that I could go in twice a week. And Wheeze wound up liking me and my weird. Once he remembered my name, but I sort of set myself apart by knowing the weird stuff that I know.
Yes,
being sort of a trivia weirdo savant. This was before Google.
No wonder you and I get along so well.
And being able to know, like one day somehow someone asked who played Lumpy on Leave It to Beaver, and I just automatically knew Frank Bank. Frank Bank. Who are you, and why do you know that? And
my name's Billy Tuttori, and
yeah,
man, you go deeper than I do.
And it's funny because listening to Wheeze in the morning, all of a sudden I hear, Billy, get back in here! Don't go, just sit in here, type thing. We need your brain.
Yeah. So, and from then on, they wound up eventually hiring me, and I wound up staying there instead of factory jobs. But then that was it. CMF, and eventually they had some restructuring. They let me go. Wound up back at a sheet metal factory called Barthmus Manufacturing, and had a fine job there. And then Wheeze wound up at Radio 95.1 and wanted me to work for him again. So,
all right,
nice.
So I wound up here.
So you've been in radio for what, about 15 years?
Off and on, about 27 years now.
Wow, jeez.
Mostly, except for a 10-year period. So, except for a 10-year period from like 99 to 2009. About 17 years total, but off and on 27 years. Because I still did the weekend show for most of that 10 years.
Okay.
That I wasn't on daily.
The dark years.
Yeah.
The quiet years.
So that's how I wound up in radio. Let's see. Another good question. I already asked that one. Everyone's broken a bone, right?
Oh, yeah. Several.
Okay.
Actually.
Do I want to go through the litany? Hang on a second. My right index finger 3 times. That's why it kind of rotates a little bit towards the middle. So I've broken 2 fingers on my left hand, 1 finger on my right. I've broken my left ankle twice. I've broken 2 ribs on the right side. I've broken all 10 toes at one point or another.
Really?
Yep. All of them. Not at the same time, thank God.
Okay.
But in different times. Never broke my nose, although there's
I've
a couple
broken my
people who tried.
nose, so yeah.
And the right wrist.
Okay. Right wrist, a couple toes on my left foot. While I was working at the sheet metal factory, I dropped a big piece of metal on my foot and broke a couple toes. That hurt a whole bunch. In fact, I was wearing steel toe boots, but it went past where the steel toes were.
Oh, yeah, I've heard stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely.
So, broken foot, broken nose. That was the one where I was doing some weeding in my backyard, and I was, the big green garbage tote. I was pushing that and hit a rock, and that went down, and I went on top of it and broke my nose.
Oh, jeez.
So that was no fun.
My dad was a prolific bone breaker because he was an athlete. He's always active. He's always doing things. Legs, arms, ankles, the works. And so the great urban legend story that he loves to tell is that he was in with his orthopedic surgeon one time. I think I was 10 or 11 years old at the time when this happened. He said, Tom, You've broken every limb except your neck, and if you break that, you won't need me.
Yeah. Yeah. And the broken nose actually led to my diabetes diagnosis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I broke my nose, I was bleeding all over the place. Susan took me to the hospital. They wheeled me in. They did whatever they do, and they come back going, "Do you know you're diabetic?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that." And they said, "Well, most normal people, their blood sugar level is between 80 and 120. Yours is 406."
Oh, Jesus.
Son of a motherless goat!
That's like our friend Scott was
It goes-
really high.
He goes, it had been, no, because it had gradually gotten that high. If I went from like normal to 406, I
Yeah.
would have been in a coma.
Oh, yeah.
But it just like
ketoacidosis is
gradually went up
thing.
to that far, and then so thank you for the bag of white Kit Kats, Tanya. They were delicious. They were delicious. Tanya,
sorry, Susan.
Have you ever broken a bone, Tanya?
I have not broken a bone. I have only bruised my middle toe, like hitting it, but I never broke it.
Right, Monk.
Never.
Never.
Hank?
Playing roller derby, you haven't broken a bone. Good for
I've gotten
you.
bruised. I've fallen on my wheels and gotten bruises like that just are astronomically big, but no, I haven't broken anything. Not yet, anyways.
Good. Knock on
She
wood
knows
that
how
it
to
doesn't
fall.
happen.
James.
I am not a very physically adventurous person, so I've never broken a bone.
Yeah, me neither. Do you look at me? But still. Tony.
So I guess you were
Accidents
just born
happen.
under a bad sign.
Yeah, I'm
Accidents
a
happen.
mess.
Tony?
I've been in fights. I've done sports, but no, I've never actually broken anything.
Well, you want to start now?
Yeah, sure.
Let's close up with an easy one.
All right.
Okay.
What's your favorite beverage?
Oof. There's-
Alcoholic, non-alcoholic?
Clarification: a beverage is any drink that is not water.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with, since Monk, you jumped in, what's yours? Let's go with
What's
you
yours,
first.
Monk?
That's okay. Since I've noticed that I drink it a lot, I drink Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Delicious. I like Dr. Pepper. James.
I drink it for the caffeine.
There you go.
You don't like coffee then, huh?
Yep. I don't like coffee, and I don't like most teas. So
Yeah, me neither. That's how I knew when you said you drink soda for the caffeine. Same here, and I can't stand coffee.
So my favorite beverage would be Saranac root beer.
Saranac, okay. Saranac root beer. Go very stuff. Okay. My kids love that stuff. Go ahead, Tony.
Rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke for a tone. All right.
It used to be a regular Coke, but now since I'm also a diabetic or type 2 diabetic, it's Coke Zero.
Yeah, it's delicious. Chris?
I'm going to have to say cider, apple cider, and it can be either regular or hard cider.
Okay.
I like them in both versions. That's kind of like.
Mackenzie's?
have
Mackenzie's
you
hard
tried
cider?
I have.
an apple
really good.
cider slushy?
What's that, honey?
An apple cider slushy.
I have never even heard of one until now, and now I'm intrigued.
And Chris, I had... Oh, I'm sorry,
The
Monk.
cider mill that is like really close to where my parents live. It's literally like within walking distance. They do apple cider slushies, and they are so good. It ruins all other slushies for you because it's so tart. Because then you're just like, this other slushie is way too sweet.
That's cool.
Chris, I have something for you then.
You do?
Earlier this week on the radio show, a guest brought us up some stuff from Schutt's Apple Farm cider mill, and I can't have cider because of my diabetes, despite the white Kit Kats. And so there's a half gallon in the refrigerator I'm just going to give to you.
Very cool.
before
Thank you
we
very
leave
much.
here.
I'll make sure it goes to good use.
And I'm going to go with Coke Zero, Vanilla Coke Zero.
Vanilla Coke Zero.
I
Okay.
love vanilla Coke. Before that, I used to love white grape juice, and I miss white grape juice more than anything.
White grape juice too.
But that's the one I miss, and vanilla Coke Zero is the one that I drink. So,
Very cool.
and I think that's about
That's
enough.
fun. We'll do that again sometime. Some
Yeah.
different questions.
Well,
There's
to
still
pick
lots
up-
more questions.
I'm
but-
sure
Yeah,
there
these
are.
things go on and on.
Yeah, that's fun though. All right, I like that one. So let's go ahead. We'll take some breakage. Talking about bones, and so we'll take some breakage, and when we come back, we have our question of the week.
Woohoo!
Do you love the mayhem? Do you love the madness? Do you love the stupidity and the entertainment value thereof of all of those things? Sponsor us. Follow us. Patronize us, as it were.
Patronize us?
Patronize us.
If you think we're good for free, wait till you hear us after we've been paid.
I'm telling you. www.patreon.com/FC3ROC. We have plenty of levels to choose from. We have James's video game blog. We have some short pieces that I've been starting to put up now. We have absolutely nothing from Tanya, and that's worth its weight in gold right there. I'm kidding. No,
Ouch.
she's actually quite creative. She's an amazing person. But anyway, also sponsors at fc3roc.org. We have several levels, again, to choose from. Also, we can customize for anything you might be interested in. Follow us. Help us. Encourage us. And guess what? We'll only get into more trouble that way. It'll be fun. We'll do this together. It'll be great. All right, moving on to our question of the week.
If you opened a bar,
Sorry.
are you done?
No.
What fictional character would you most want as a bartender?
All right. Go ahead, Billy.
Oh, I get to go first.
Yes, you get to go first.
Okay, I'd have to go with someone very honest because it's known that, well, it's not. I can't say it's known. I'll get sued. But I've heard that bartenders have been known to pilfer from the till. So I want someone extremely honest. So I'm going to go with Jaime the Robot from Get Smart.
Nice.
Very literal, very honest. He was on the good guy team with Maxwell Smart in 99. So I'm going to go Jaime the Robot. And he'll take everyone very literally because that was the joke of the show.
I love it.
Well, so long as you don't order anything on the rocks, you're okay.
Oh, actually, that's a great point. For real. Because he would fill up your glass with rocks.
With rocks. Hey, Monkey Girl.
I'm torn. I'm torn between two.
Mm-hmm. Tell us both.
I'm torn between have you guys seen Angel?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're
Do you
talking.
guys remember the demon? I think his name was like Lorne or something.
Lauren, yes, who would read your soul by having you sing karaoke.
Yes. him.
Yes.
And then Tapper from Wreck-It Ralph, because he doesn't check your age.
Oh, I see. So you like having
Tapper, brilliant old school Midway video game.
There you go.
1983, I want to say.
Those are good choices.
Developed by the same people who created Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Nice little piece of trivia there, bonus. Hey, Antonio.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Baqueta.
Yeah, that's me.
Who's going to bartend for your new place?
I'm going to get a tag team.
Okay.
Superman and Captain America.
Oh, wow.
With Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow working weekends.
She's the bouncer.
She's the bouncer.
Yeah, she's the bouncer, and she kicks out Tony and Clips from time to time when they do stupid things.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Tanya?
Well, Tony had taken mine. He had said Captain America when we were talking about this earlier. So, let's see. I think I would have to probably go Iron Man.
Okay. Okay.
Marvel Universe is getting a lot of work out
Apparently.
of it.
Yeah, it is. You're like, because he's just got like those little snappy quips and things like that. And,
Right.
And you know he knows his way around a bar.
Well, that's true. Yes.
He definitely knows.
Very
He's
true.
more likely to drink.
He's more likely to drink.
There.
Yes.
Maybe only 12%.
Then I'm going to change my answer to Rocket and Groot just so I know the answer. A raccoon in a tree walk into a bar.
Could you imagine? Like, here's my honorable mention. It's not my actual answer.
Maybe it's the shawarma place with the bar.
There you go. Castiel from Supernatural. I went to a liquor store and I drank it. Anyway, James.
So my original answer, I was thinking I'd want a bartender who could do flair.
Okay.
You know, the showmanship aspects of bartendering.
Right.
Woo!
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Be the man! You're gonna beat the man!
Why was I thinking of that line the other day?
Anyhow.
Anyway, moving on.
I don't get it.
Anyhow,
He's a wrestler and he
I
says
know he's-
woo.
okay.
And his name is Flair and he said Flair. So, I said, woo.
spinning drinks, spinning the cups and like that. I'm thinking to myself, well, if you want to get someone who can do some really creative flair, go for Plastic Man. But then I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Mixing drinks, that's basically chemistry.
So you need Mr. Fantastic.
Yes.
Just taking it another step further.
Yes.
I like that.
Or, the Flash.
The Flash, because he can take care of the whole bar in about 10 seconds.
Except his origin story involves all the flasks breaking.
Oops.
Yeah.
And being covered in
Well,
this
I
stuff.
mean, he's a forensic guy. He works with chemicals. He knows what you need to mix together.
Christopher?
He's the chemist.
Marvin, the paranoid android from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
No, that's a downer, though.
Could you imagine him just wiping
alcohol
down
is
the...
a depressant.
Could you imagine him hanging out at a bar like 2 o'clock in the morning? There's a bunch of guys who just have lost all their will to live, and then there's Marvin, brain the size of a planet, mixing drinks.
It forced them off the freaking bridge.
I didn't say it was a great idea. I just said it was an idea. Nobody touched on Spider-Man since we're covering all these freaking comic book heroes. You can hang upside down and pour the drinks upside down. It'll be great.
Well, when I first read this question, I'm like, if you opened a bar, what fictional character would you most want as the
Of course,
bartender?
Peter wouldn't be able to actually work in a bar, but there's
I was thinking about all the different bartenders that have been on TV shows. So I'm
yeah,
like, I first
Sam
went-
Malone.
Mo Sislick.
I
Yeah.
first thought Guinan.
Guinan would be
yes.
amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that was my first one. Then I remembered Ted Danson, but I couldn't remember the name
Sam
that
Malone.
Sam Malone. Until you said
Isaac
it
from
right
The
now.
Love Boat.
Oh,
Quark.
Quark.
Yes.
Oh, God, I haven't thought
yes.
of Quark since that show was
so,
on.
so therefore, that's what my first thought.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
cool.
Well, let's not go to like the traditional fictional
Yeah.
bartenders. Let's think out of the side of the box and things like that. So, but
I think we lost Monk.
Monk, you
Monk?
still there, honey?
Yoo-hoo.
We did. We lost a monk.
Should I call her back?
Well, let's take a moment.
Okay.
Monk.
Here, let's take
Did
a
you-
break and call Monk back.
Okay.
Yes, you lost me. I'm back.
Your phone? Did you hang up by accident? Did your phone die?
I have no clue what happened.
He said, "I'm tired of talking to these idiots."
Like,
We can be exhausting.
Yeah.
We can be. I'm tired just listening to myself.
Well, we were just sort of wrapping up. Who hasn't answered this question?
I think we all have.
I think we all did.
Yeah, but we're all covered.
All right, so do you want
Bye,
to...
Monk. Oh,
Are we recording at the moment?
Yeah, we are.
That's awesome.
No, because like all of a sudden we're like, I was talking about like Quark. We were talking about Quark and all the different bartenders, and you're like, wait, something happened.
I heard a little click, and I'm used to that sound when people hang up on me.
Yeah.
People hang up on you quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes, I do.
All right.
I don't know what happened.
Boy, that kind of suddenly took the wind out of the sails of that whole segment, but that's okay.
Monk ruined the whole thing. We'll have to start over.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, we weren't recording.
So Facebook friends,
In the beginning, there were the glaciers. Oh, sorry.
if you
Too far?
truly were to open a bar,
Yes.
let us know what fictional character you would most want as a bartender and why.
I'm expecting Elizabeth Rice will probably suggest by like River Song.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that would be. I think that'd be hilarious. Or John, Captain Jack.
Captain Jack.
Get Captain Jack. That would be amazing as well.
In other news, the sun's going to come up in the east.
There it is. Ba-dooch. All right, so I think that does it for this week.
Now, we love you, Elizabeth.
For
Even if you can't stand me.
for James, for Billy, for Monk, for Tanya, for Tony, and myself, this has been Monkey Business. A product of the Mighty Monkey Corporation, purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic Con, coming at you in 2020 at the Total Sports Experience. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us wherever we go, and we will lead you to where the entertainment is. Because that's what we do. All right, so that's it for this week, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great week.
Something about a swarm of guinea pigs?
Bump, bump.
Baby.